How's it going, everybody? It's been a while since y'all have seen another video from me, and good news is I have one editing right now, but where's my fucking phone? I had to take a minute to freaking just make this video. If some of y'all know anything about me, I'm like a huge baseball fan, and I found this fucking post on Instagram. I saw this post on Instagram about fan voting in the MLB All-Star game. And this is what was basically in the post. It says Anthony Rendon is placed 5th under Josh Donaldson. Albert Almora is placed 4th with barely a 700 OPS. Charlie Blackmon has an OPS over 1 and has less votes than Jock Peterson and Kyle Schwarber, both of which having decent years, but they're not having a Charlie Blackmon year, which you'll see later. Altuve has a .3 WAR! .3 WAR! And has more votes than DJ LeMahieu. Might I add, Altuve's only played in 30 or so games, and he's hurt right now! Let me actually confirm this. I will go on my laptop, which is right here, and I will confirm. Jose Altuve nearing return to Astros. He's making his rehab assignment right now, so he is hurt. He has missed time due to injury. And he's hitting .249. Urshela trails Hunter Dozier in many stat categories, but has more votes. Okay, now I do want to make a point that between Urshela and Dozier, it's closer than they make it seem. The only thing that Dozier has like considerably more of than Urshela is power. So Urshela's they're not having too different of a season. This one really fucking pissed me off. This one really got to me. Stanton has played in 3 games! 3 games! And is ahead of 4 people! All of which deserve it more than he does. Are you fucking kidding me? 3 games and you people are voting for him! What is wrong with you? Aaron Judge has barely played, only played in like 20-something games, has decent stats for 20 games into the year, don't get me wrong, but Joey Gallo is having a career year. He's finally got that average up to 278. He's hitting for both contact and power. Good for him. But no! He's ahead of Judge is ahead of Joey Gallo, who's actually earned a goddamn All-Star voting. I found this post a couple days ago, and it fucking irked me to the core, dude. I'm gonna get some water. It irked me to the core because I agree, like, why would you give, like, no, don't get me wrong. Fans have their favorites. You know, they can tell who a good player and a not good player is, but they didn't take into account it's online. It's online. Anyone can go on there. Kids can go on there. Idiots can go on there. There's a lot of brain-dead drunks out there who are baseball fans, and they can go on and they can vote. And it says you have a certain amount of votes per day. I don't know if you can vote every single day, but I saw a comment on one video. I think it was, no, on one Instagram post. I think it was that one where someone said, you know, oh, dude, Judge is great. I've been voting for him every single day. And the interesting part was I went onto the comment section, and most people agree that fans should not be able to vote because it turns the All-Star game into a popularity contest. And I also saw people arguing that no, the All-Star game is a popularity contest, and I'm here to prove all you fucking idiots wrong, so just sit tight and I'll fucking prove to you why it's wrong. If the All-Star game was a popularity contest, what would even be the point of having voting every single season? If it was a popularity contest, there would be no point. Because you would just say, oh, okay, these obligatory players that have had like a couple good years in a row, these are the all-stars of our time. So what would be the point of voting for every year then? If it's just a popularity contest, just vote every 5 years. Why do they have every year? Because, oh, I don't know, maybe people have up and down seasons. That's why we have votes every single year. They completely don't take into account that players change over time. the All-Star game has always been about the best players of that year. That's why they vote every single year, and that's why there's a different team every year. If it was just, oh, Trout's the best, Blackmon's the best, Judd, you get what I mean. Regardless of injuries, regardless of games played, regardless of performance, these are popular players, so they're going to get the All-Star game. They would not have voting every year. It would be every 5 years or every 7 years or however much time. God forbid a player struggles for 3 years and has a breakout season and is like a league leader. No, fuck him, right? I like this guy who's played in 20 fucking games before the All-Star break, and I'm gonna vote for him because he was good last year. Fuck his stats this year, am I right? I don't mean to assault the people watching this video, but some people online are just so fucking dumb. And I do have to point this out. Some of these people voting could just be kids. And I can't fault the MLB. I can't fault kids for wanting to vote for their favorite players. I can fault the MLB because I'll show you in a second how this fucking All-Star ballot is set up that encourages this stupid fucking voting. So let's actually hop into that right now before I pop a fucking gasket.
Alright, so right now I'm just on the regular old Google All-Star ballot. This is, I guess, May 28th to June 21st. That's the amount of time you have to vote. I'm just going to go through some of these categories that I think are fucking bullshit. And I'm going to show you some of the candidates that they have on this ballot and how fucking ridiculous that it is that their names are even mentioned. First of all, Jesus Aguilar. He is hitting .205, 5 homers, 25 RBIs. This guy hasn't even been good enough this year to fucking be the starting first baseman. I know, because he's been on my fantasy team. He's been more on the fucking bench than he has been starting. Even more insulting, Chris Davis! Chris fucking Davis is on the ballot! Are you kidding me? This guy had the longest streak of not getting a hit this year in the fucking MLB, and he is on your All-Star ballot. You should not even be able to vote for him. He should not even be in consideration. Now, people are going to make the argument that they're trying to make it fair for every single team. Because as you can see, every team has one representative from each category. And it's like, okay, I get it, but like, it doesn't matter because every team is going to get at least one All-Star. They're allowed one All-Star per team, mandatory. If I'm remembering correctly, I believe that's how it works. Each team gets one mandatory All-Star. So why does it matter? Even if nobody votes for somebody from that team, they're still going to get an All-Star representative. And again, it doesn't matter because every team has one player that's outstanding. That I can think of. Every single team has one player that has been very good this year. That is going to get votes. Every team will probably, mostly every team is probably anyways going to have a player that gets voted in. So you don't need this shit. You don't need all these like fucking like Ronald Guzman. Who even is that? I don't even know who the fuck that is. Ryan O'Hearn. I've really never heard of him, and he's hitting under 200 anyways, so why the fuck does it matter what his name is? Fucking Albert Pujols is on the goddamn ballot. He doesn't fucking deserve to be there. Actually, he's not having that bad of a year, considering he's old, but he's just not the player he once was. Why the fuck is Matt Olson here? He's not even doing that great either. I could point out maybe a few candidates on here that kind of deserve it. Like I'll just kind of stick to the American League for brevity's sake with first baseman. If I go through, I'll name some names that kind of deserve it. Like Abreu should be on here. Cron should be on here. Fucking Santana, Carlos Santana deserves to be on here. Voit deserves to be on here. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a fucking Yankee fan. He's actually having a pretty good year. Rizzo should be on here. Votto, get the fuck out. Zimmerman, get the fuck out. Muncy should be on here. Hosmer, it's debatable. Hoskins, sure, you can be on here. Goldschmidt, actually this season it's debatable. And I'm saying this because, yes, they're good players, but compare them to the best players in these categories, and they don't fucking, like, why are they even in consideration? Look at this bullshit. Fucking Jose Altuve, who's hurt right now, is first person on the ballot if you have it A through Z by last name. He's the first person you can vote for. It's ridiculous. What the fuck is Daniel Descalso doing here? 190, 571 OPS? Get the fuck out of here, dude. Fucking Josh Harrison, Jason Kipnis, get the fuck out. Why is Josh Harrison? This guy's having like probably, other than Chris Davis, this is probably the worst stats I've seen on this ballot so far is Harrison. Why the fuck are you on here, dude? You shouldn't even be an option. Fucking Rougned Odor. Why? What is people's obsession with Rougned Odor? He had 130 homer season, but the guy can't hit for average worth of fucking shit. Now I get like a power hitter is a power hitter, and a defensive hitter is a defensive hitter, but if you can't hit, what are you doing on an MLB team? Hitting is like the majority of what makes you a valuable player. Like, what the fuck? And people are gonna like argue that like, oh, but you can write in a player. Yeah, because people are gonna do that in mass voting. Like, no. Like, why would I go and like look through these players to write in or like search through any of this? There's just no point. There's no fucking point. All the starters are here anyways. Why do you even have the option to write in a player? Because none of the write-ins are going to be any better than these. The MLB basically went to each team, looked at their categories, and either took the people that had like the most amount of like games played. Well, no, actually, no, they didn't do the most amount of games played. They just did the best slash lines. They didn't even do the most games played. And that's why some of these players like don't deserve to be on here, because maybe there's a second baseman other than Altuve that's played in more games but didn't do as well, or maybe he doesn't play second base for his main position, but he was a fill-in for Altuve while Altuve was gone. But Altuve's still on the fucking ballot. Again, here we go. Jose Ramirez is on here. He doesn't fucking deserve it. He's been terrible this season. Travis Shaw has been hurt for a good chunk of the season, and he sucks this year. Why the fuck is he on here? He's also on my fantasy team. What the fuck did I draft him for? And look, here was what they were saying earlier: is Anthony Rendon. Let's look at his slash line. That's fucking phenomenal. Look at those stats. And then who else did they mention? Let me go to a fucking Instagram post. Josh Donaldson. What? What? Not even close to Rendon. How does he get more votes? Look at that. That is bull. Oh, that is bull. Oh, that is ridiculous. Come on. And this is my point, is like, why? Okay, so the thing is like Donaldson, this isn't too bad. This slash line, it's not too bad. But so like if you were to do a ballot, like not every team should have representatives from each category. You know, if a player, they should take, you know, the top slash lines, maybe like the top, I don't know, 5 or 7 slash lines from each category, and these should be the people that are in these ballots, or I don't know, something like that. There should be a set amount of games that you have to play in that make you eligible for an all-star ballot as well. So like you can't play in 15 games that season and then get an all-star voting. No, that's not fucking fair to the people that have played for like 50, 60 games, or, you know, 70 games, 80 games, or whatever, that have played so many more games and have already have like just as good or even better stats and don't get the voting. And this is the problem with these fucking morons that come on here, and they don't understand what it is to be an all-star anymore. They just say like, oh, I'm a Red Sox fan, Rafael Devers, vote, 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 vote. And they probably vote every fucking day because there's probably no restriction on the amount of times you can vote. I don't know, I haven't voted yet, but maybe I'll make a video right after this one telling you who I think actually deserves these fucking votes. You know what? I'll do that. Let's go to fucking catcher. This is an interesting category because I actually would argue that a catcher isn't only measured by how much offensive productivity they have. I would say that, you know, you have to take into account like how good they've been defensively, you know, how many balls they've dropped. So like they show the slash lines, but I mean a lot of catchers can't fucking hit. It's crazy how a lot of catchers just, they're not really good at hitting. Like the American League, Mathis, Maldonado, Lucroy, Jensen, Griner, fucking Barnhart, Tucker Barnhart, Cervelli, Gomes, just do not have anything productive at the bat. Then there's a couple standouts like McCann actually having a decent year, actually a good year. Yasmani Grandal, James McCann, all those names that are doing well. And let's get to fucking outfield. This is This is where I'm gonna get fucking pissed off, because remember how I mentioned Giancarlo Stanton? Check this out. So I actually double-crossed myself for a second. I was about to apologize and say that Stanton actually wasn't on the ballot, but I was looking in the outfield section. Look under fucking DH, and look right there under New York Yankees. Giancarlo Stanton's on the fucking ballot. He's only played 3 fucking games. Find your zen, dude. Find your fucking zen. How? How can you allow this? This is the MLB official All-Star ballot. They put him there. How can you allow that? How? How can you let a guy who has 3 games under his belt this season, who's hitting .250, no homers, no RBIs, no offensive productivity, how can you allow him to be on the ballot? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. It's like a fucking intern put this together. And this is like the point I'm trying to make here is that you could blame fans all you want, but the MLB is encouraging this shit. There's a way to do this correctly. When I was younger, I got this fucking paper ballot. It was like a paper ballot with it had like, I forget what it came with, but it had a list of like the top players that year, and it wasn't categories, and it wasn't one person from every single team, regardless of how good they were this year. It actually gave you like the top players from that season, and you could bubble in and then mail it in, and that was your voting ballot. It was nothing like this. They could have done an online ballot and have it work, but they just did it so, this is just stupid. Half these people don't deserve to be on here. Come on, guys. Like, and then when you look at New York's outfield, the people that are on the ballot for the Yankees, Aaron Judge, who's been hurt for like he's still out. He's not even playing right now. Aaron Hicks, he's been out for a good chunk of the year, and his slash line sucks, even though he's been back for a little bit. He's not hitting all that great. Brett Gardner, he's like 35, and he can't hit anymore. Look at that, 233. It's like, and he's never even been that good of a hitter anyways. He's just decent, and like, there's like other people that should be on this list that have actually played this fucking season. Clint Frazier deserves it more than Aaron Hicks. Yes, he's had a couple fucking, yes, he's sent down, which actually kind of fucks it up. So that actually invalidates my argument. He can't be on the ballot. He's not even in the fucking MLB anymore. But despite a few like defensive blunders that he's had, he's actually been really good at the plate. Why the fuck did they even send him down, to be honest? If anything, the Yankees don't even deserve to have a third outfield representative, because none of their third outfielders this year have been good. Talkman, he's been like that. He's been okay. Maben, they've only had him for a couple games. Sure, he's good now. He's going to keep it up? Fuck no, I don't think so.
I could go on and on about this. I really could. But I'll drive myself into a fucking coma. Into a fucking, I don't know, like a stress-induced coma if I keep going. This just is ridiculous. They either have to get rid of fan voting altogether or completely restructure it, because this is just, it's breaking it. I'm sure that even if someone like Stanton gets the most amount of votes, they're not gonna allow him to be in the All-Star game. How could you? There's no fucking way. And I'm sure it will work out to the fact that, the players that have earned it this year will get in. And also the favorites that do good every single year will get in because they earn it every year. They earn it. If Mike Trout hit 230 with 5 home runs and, 20 RBIs and a 680 OPS before the All-Star break, he doesn't deserve to get into the fucking All-Star game that year. I don't care what he's done in other seasons. This is voting for this year. Let's just fucking end this rant before it gets to the point where it's like 5 hours long and I forget to like eat food and I like die of malnutrition. Thanks for listening. If you're a baseball fan and you tuned in, sorry if this isn't the content you were looking for on either my first or second video back. I don't know what fucking video back this is going to be. But this actually might be my new setup, by the way. I just moved a lamp and I actually get decent lighting in here. So this might be my new video setup for when I do videos. So let me know how this looks compared to my other room where I have set up there. If you like the framing better, if you like just the atmosphere, environment, the lighting better, let me know. I'll see you next time on the next episode of Nonsensical Cinemas. Peace out.